This movie sucks. I should end it there. There's nothing else you need to hear, but no. Some of you might be persuaded to go see it because, like, you want to see how bad it is. Okay. So, I'm going to save you from that. In fact, I'm going to turn off my phone first, because I need a stream of conscious. Alright, I'll admit, I'm a Green Lantern fan, hardcore, love the comics, love Blackest Night, love all that. And, you know, I tried not to get pissed off by all the inaccuracies in there, because, you know, that's what I worried about. But don't worry, but 1 minute in, and I knew I didn't have to worry about that because of all of the failure just all around in this movie. You know what? You know your movie's gonna suck when it starts out with opening narration. Like, you know, if it's not Lord of the Rings and it starts out with narration that says, "From the beginning of time," your movie's gonna blow. And even better, when your first opening scene, the first characters you see are 3 aliens that are just fodder for the big bad. Like, just fodder to get eaten to release this ultimate evil from its can. And by the way, how it got in there in the first place, I have no idea. Like, this thing Parallax, it's supposed to be the greatest foe the Green Lanterns have, which apparently they've never heard of, because when Abin Sur, like the original Green Lantern from Sector here, says, you've got to warn the Guardians. Parallax is coming. They're like, who's Parallax? And it's just like, your greatest foe? The one you should all be afraid of? Like, the one harnessing the energy that could whoop all of you. The one that had to be sealed away. That didn't... No one told stories about that. Okay, fine. Some intergalactic police force. Okay, so, I'm gonna guess some of you don't know much about Green Lantern. So, here's the basic premise. Alright, Green Lanterns. Universal police force. They've got green rings that harness willpower and make anything out of energy. 1 per sector, there's 3,600 in the universe, and come this movie, Hal Jordan, who's played by Ryan Reynolds, inherits the Green Lantern for this sector. By the way, biggest mistake ever. Okay. This Hal Jordan is a fucking ass. Like, there is nothing about him that's even remotely likable. Like, okay, I don't hate Ryan Reynolds, but this guy, pure douche. Like, you know, first scene, he appears in. He just runs out on this girl that he's just met and is like, sorry, I gotta run, I'm late to work, but, there's some water in the sink, you can have that. And then, of course, oh yeah, the way that, a Green Lantern ring chooses you is if you have the ability to be fearless or overcome fear. And apparently, in this case, being fearless is being moronic. Here, like, first thing he does in the movie, he's in a test flight, and, you know, he's supposed to outwit these robot jets. This is supposed to be what he can do and all that. How does he do it? He flies his plane up past, the ceiling limit that they're given. Planes follow him. He stalls out all 3 planes. Has to eject. They don't say what happens to the other 2 planes. You know what? So, we're just left to assume that they just crashed and burned. Yeah, our hero, who just totaled, like, $20 billion in Air Force funds. Class act. Like, quite honestly, this was the wrong protagonist. Hector Hammond, who's supposed to be kind of the antagonist, sort of, except not, because Parallax is the antagonist, and it gets really confusing because they should have just stuck with one antagonist. Like, quite honestly, he's way more sympathetic. He's way nicer, he's smarter, for sure, and when he's basically black-bagged and brought into this secret government testing site where the crashed alien that used to have the Green Lantern ring is kept, like, he's nice about it. He's scared shitless, but he's overcoming it. Quite clearly, he deserved the Green Lantern ring, but when he gets, like, evil psychic superpowers, from the yellow energy of Parallax, get to that in a bit, then, you know, all of his likableness come the third act is gone, as is his personality. And, like, he's clearly insane, and yet somehow they feel the need to bring him back into the government facility without putting him under. And he's clearly insane. He's clearly like, I can read your thoughts. I know what you had for breakfast. I know what you did last winter. I know you. They're just like, okay, he's a little off, but, you know, maybe if we just let him ride in the back seat, get him a snow cone, he'll be nice. Doesn't work. And, you know, before I go on, Blake Lively as Carol Ferris, not buying it. I'm sorry. Like, she's supposed to be this really smart girl who's not only an ace pilot, like right up there with Jordan, but she's supposed to own the Air Force, the airfield or the company or something like that. Yeah, no, not buying it. She's a complete airhead. And quite like, there's nothing to her except her looks. That's why they cast her, because she's got, tracts of land. And seriously, when I was watching her, I wasn't, the only thing that was coming to my mind, it wasn't, wow, this is an interesting character, wow, something, something. It was, wow, she's hot. All I thought about. That's not a good sign. That's not a good female lead at all. But, yeah, let's talk about the internal logic of the film. Oh, wow, yeah, we're done bitching about everyone else. Like, apparently, the energy is designed to do whatever the hell the plot needs it to do. It can, make black holes into doorways, and, it can give people psychic powers, when, really, it's just supposed to, make things out of energy. You know, that's the source of its power. Otherwise, like, by that logic, the movie could be over. Like, if it just used that. It can turn a black hole into a doorway, but use it to open a black hole, or something like that. Yeah, I know that's, like, not feasible, but you know what? This movie puts a boot up Feasible's ass, and then sticks it on a fucking flagpole, saying, oh, say can you fail. God damn it. Yeah, oh yeah, another thing. So, these are supposed to be hard light constructs, and yet somehow they can create flamethrowers that shoot out like normal flame. I don't know where you get the flint in hard light, and then it also creates a pool of water to brace someone's fall. Not buying it at all. First of all, water doesn't work that way. Second off, she clearly hits the ground when she falls in the water. Your water did dick. Oh, God. You know, one of the worst parts about this is, I could see elements of a good movie in here. I really could. Like, some of the stuff on Oa, the Green Lantern planet, that was really cool. There were a lot of really cool Green Lanterns there. Guess what? They never appear. Like, they're guest stars in their own movie. And that's the sad thing. It's like, everything that's, like, constantly wrong with Green Lantern, the same things are wrong in the freaking Transformers movies. Like, the main attractions are sidelined, made side characters in their own thing, and the main character is nigh unlikable, just this gibbering person that we're supposed to connect with. Oh, yeah. Honestly, this is like the 90s Green Lantern or something like that. I don't mean Kyle Rayner, I mean it's like the Green Lantern to the extreme! Like, when, for example, when a helicopter's falling out of the sky and it needs to be rescued, Hal Jordan forms a race car around it and just, like, has it go on this huge, complicated, looping track to this, like, hard-out rock music, or maybe I'm just misremembering the music, I don't care, the music was uninspired. And when you could have just made a giant hand to catch it and bring it down. But no, clearly, we need the racetrack. Like, in fact, they even say it in the movie, like, a racetrack, that's the best you could think of. And the Green Lanterns on Oa, like, Jeffrey Rush as Tomari, this, like, fish guy, I can't remember his name, but this guy as this big drill instructor is like, this is gonna be the worst day of your life. I think it's Michael Duncan Clark or something like that. He's cool. Mark Strong as Sinestro, who's the main bad guy of the Green Lantern universe, not so hot. Because it's clear from his personality, like, he's a great drill instructor when he takes over Kilowog for a bit. He's, like, clearly the more experienced guy, just pantsing Jordan is like, and it's understandable, too. The guy who died and gave him the ring was Sinestro's friend. But he's clearly, like, one of those, like, oh, you are such a waste of my time. We need to harness the energy that parallaxes to fight back against. Like, it's clear he's gonna be evil. There's no surprise in it at all. And he doesn't turn evil this movie, except for, like, the quasi-post-credits thing. Yeah, thanks for trying to make us fangasm. We don't appreciate it. But, you know, it's not a surprise. He's so clearly gonna be evil. And, like, in the comics, it was way better. He was a nice guy. He was just, like, he was smooth. He was quasi-friendly to people. He was the best at what he did, but he was still, like, you didn't suspect it at the time. So it's just like, oh, hey, like, you're really cool. Thanks for helping me out. Yeah, I'll go to your planet and see what's going on. What the fuck is this? Why are there Nazi flags everywhere? What the fuck, Sinestro? No. Yeah. Okay. Another big problem, is that it's very clear that the powers are good and evil. Like, it's not any sense of, like, character or anything like that. It's just the yellow power, which is supposedly based on fear, it is what makes you evil. Like, Hector Hammond, really nice guy in the beginning. Like, he's nice. Even when he's under a lot of pressure and psychic powers are exploding out of him, he's still nice. I mean, he sniffs Carol's hair, and that's kind of creepy. By the way, what is it with the sniffing hair? That's like, I don't get it. Is that to smell their shampoo or something? It's like, you don't get a great scent from hair. Hair's where grease accumulates. That's why you use the shampoo. Like, if you want to get someone's scent, you smell their fucking armpits. You do what Kevin Kline does in A Fish Called Wanda. Yeah, it's not attractive. You don't... But yeah, so Hector Hammond, you know, he's clearly going insane from the power, which, by the way, apparently of the whole it does whatever it needs to do thing, it acts as a beacon for Parallax, who, like, when Hector Hammond starts going insane, like, clutching his head and mutating, Parallax is, like, a cross-world eating planet. He's like, who? Huh. Yeah, how does that work, by the way? Like, this residual energy is supposed to be from a shot he fired into Abin-Sur to kill him, if we're calling Parallax a he. So, I don't know of anyone who can track someone via their bullets. And don't give me this, it's magic, we don't have to explain it. And you know what? I will get to Parallax near the end. You better believe I'll get to him. So, there's that. Okay, before I go on, there's one funny part. There's one good part of the movie, is when Hal in full Green Lantern disguise comes to Carol's, balcony, and he's trying to be all charming. He's like, I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to say hello. It was the least, I was very busy. And, you know, it looks like they're gonna go for a kiss, and I was about to call slut on her. But then she's just like, Hal? And I was just like, nice. Okay, so, quick sum up of bad powers, bad people. Like, the power turns Hector Hammond insane, and, like, clearly mad with power. Even when he's offered the Green Lantern ring, like, a genuine kindness, he's still a dick. And also, by the way, you know what? About that, he's psychic. And, you know, he can read people's minds. He never uses it when he needs to. You know, when Hal's offering him the ring, he's like, is this a trick? It's like, read his mind! Read his mind! God damn. God. So, yeah, there's that. That's irritating, but quite honestly, the big thing that I that clinched it. Like, so much wrong with it, so much of the internal logic, so much predictable, and it's the climax that's just bone stupid. I mean, first of all, Parallax, originally he was a guardian of the universe, and, he took in the yellow energy of fear, and, we couldn't tell, if he was supposed to be a being of pure energy. He eats people's fear, and he grows bigger from it, I guess sort of a I Am Legion thing. And, yeah, by the way, this movie rips off from so many other superhero movies. The stalling thing, Iron Man, the thing on the balcony, and even some flight scenes on Oa, Superman, and they even felt the need to rip off Ghost Rider, with Parallax just eating all those things, and... God. But yeah, he comes to Earth, and apparently people wait until he's right on top of them to start trying to evacuate. Yeah, keep in mind, this is a giant yellow, multi-legged tarantula with a humanoid head from space, and people are just staring huh? Hey, I don't get to watch the solar eclipse. Dude. Oh yeah, but, and, which of course makes it even more crazy when it breaks into the Air Force Base, and, yeah, and, eats Hector Hammond. By the way, gotta touch on that for a bit. So, yeah, Hector Hammond goes crazy. He's holding Carol hostage. He wants Green Lantern to submit or something, and he's got, this syringe of, the yellow energy that mutated him. First off, where did he get that? Second of all, he's holding it with psychic powers. Hal has a ring based on thought. So it's just curse the syringe. Curse the syringe. It's literally the speed of thought against the speed of thought. And, Hector gets eaten. And Parallax is you have failed me. When was he doing your dirty work to begin with? He is literally an accident. Quite honestly, you know what? Yeah, that's exactly what he is. Hector Hammond's mutation is the product of, some residual energy from stuff that Parallax stuck into, Abin Sur. Hector Hammond is literally a one-night stand baby, and Parallax is doing this whole, you have failed me. Yeah, but then, of course, fight happens around the city, and, apparently, beforehand, a bunch of Green Lanterns went in against Parallax. Clearly, all they needed to do was be as bone retarded as Hal, because he makes a jet engine with a propeller and everything, and cuts his way through Parallax. Why isn't it closing up? Why isn't it bleeding? Why isn't he being torn to pieces by all of the little legion inside of him? And also, how can he outfly Parallax when, clearly the guy can move from one entire galaxy to another in a span of a day? Makes no sense. And, one shield, that's all Hal does to protect from being eaten at one point. It's one shield. An entire platoon, Gideon squad, whatever, of Green Lanterns couldn't hold their own. But one shield. One shield. And how does Parallax get beaten? Because, basically, Hal tricks him into falling into the sun's gravitational pull. You're telling me that a former guardian of the universe, a species that built a planet and has existed since the beginning of time, couldn't, the sun, universe, just... Oh, and by the way, how how did it get trapped in? But how did it get pulled in and Hal didn't? Because Parallax had more mass. No! Hal Jordan escaped the pull of the sun 25 miles away by making jet engines engines to pull him. Fuck this movie. Fuck, it's so hard. Oh yeah, and very nice of the Green Lantern Corps not to help him. Like, the most they did was, like, once Parallax fell in, and they still couldn't make up their mind if it was pure energy or some solid mass. But the most they do is make some chains or ropes or whatever to pull Hal out of the gravitational pull. And they're still too close. And there's 3 of them. Why? Why would you do this? You know what? This is it. This is the death nail for Green Lantern. Because after this movie, no one in popular culture will ever take Green Lantern seriously. It'll just be nothing to them but just a bag of douchiness and idiocy. And you know what? All other people in the theater, everyone else, like all 6 of them, they applauded. They applauded this garbage. If there's one cool thing, it was seeing, like, familiar faces in the Green Lanterns on Oa. That was the only cool thing. And, okay, and the whole Hal? And if I had to give it one other piece of credit, it's that they got the Guardians of the Universe right. Because when Abinster calls in, he's like, Parallax is coming. The Guardians must do something. Sinestro, who's in contact, is like, the Guardians are, unreachable. They are deliberating. Because, yeah, the Guardians of the Universe in the comics, fucking useless. They took forever to get things done and continuously screwed over the universe. So, they got that one thing right. Yeah, I don't think it's even possible that this will make a sequel. Like, we saw Sinestro put on the yellow lantern ring at the end in mid-credits, like, as a sequel hook, but no, it's not gonna happen. Like, yeah, no. It's going to join The Last Airbender, which I still haven't seen yet, and I'm going to count myself lucky. It's gonna join that in the sequels that will never be pile. But you know what? But, yeah. In case... But yeah. If they do make a sequel, if they do want us to root for Douche Jordan, who just destroyed a bunch of military hardware, who got through... who survived Parallax on the sheer force of being retarded... I know where I'm standing. Just saying.